Seniors, stop eating these 7 worst fruits. They are destroying your leg strength. Senior health. Part 1. The silent threat to your legs you've never heard of. A story that could be yours. It was just another Tuesday morning for Mary, a 72-year-old retired schoolteacher from Ohio. She had her usual breakfast of oatmeal and orange juice, then went for a short walk around the block before settling down with her morning coffee and a bowl of fresh pineapple slices. By midday, she felt unusually tired. Not sick, just heavy in her legs. She chalked it up to age and kept going. But by evening, her ankles were swollen, her knees ached, and walking to the kitchen felt like climbing stairs. The next day, she visited her doctor. Blood tests came back normal. No diabetes. No heart issues. No neurological conditions. So why did she feel so weak? Her doctor asked one simple question. Have you been eating any new fruits lately? Mary paused. No, she said. Just the same ones I always eat. That's when it hit her. Pineapple, bananas, grapes, watermelon, oranges, green apples, mangoes. Fruits she'd eaten for decades, thinking they were good for her. But what if they weren't? What if these healthy foods were silently weakening her legs? And what if millions of seniors across the country were unknowingly doing the same thing? Why this matters more than you think. You might be thinking, I eat fruit every day. Isn't that supposed to be good for me? Yes and no. Because while most fruits are healthy, not all fruits are created equal, especially after age 65. As we grow older, our bodies change. Our metabolism slows down. Our digestive system becomes more sensitive. Our joints become stiffer. And our ability to process sugar, even natural sugar, becomes less efficient. This means that some fruits, the very ones we've been told to eat more of, can actually cause inflammation, joint pain, blood sugar spikes, and muscle weakness, particularly in the legs. These aren't minor inconveniences. They're early warning signs of something much more serious. Leg weakness isn't just about feeling tired or sore. It's about losing your independence. It's about struggling to climb stairs. It's about falling, sometimes with devastating consequences. In fact, according to the CDC, falls are the leading cause of injury-related deaths among adults over 65. And one of the biggest risk factors? Weak leg muscles. So how do you protect yourself? By knowing which foods are helping and which are hurting. Today, we're going to reveal 7 of the worst fruits for seniors. Foods that may be quietly sabotaging your strength, balance, and mobility. Some of them might surprise you. Others you've probably eaten this week. But once you understand the science behind them and the real-life stories of people who reverse their symptoms by simply changing what they ate, you'll never look at fruit the same way again. Meet Frank, a cautionary tale. Frank was a 74-year-old retiree who loved his morning smoothie. He took pride in staying healthy. He walked every day, avoided junk food, and made sure to get his daily dose of vitamins through smoothies packed with bananas, mangoes, and berries. At first, everything seemed fine. But over time, he started noticing subtle changes. His legs felt heavier after walks. He needed to sit down more often. Climbing stairs became harder. I thought it was just getting older, he told me during an interview. Then came the night, he tripped on a rug and fell. Nothing broken. No bruises. But it scared him. A few weeks later, he saw a nutritionist who asked him to keep a food journal. When they reviewed it together, she pointed out something shocking. You're consuming a lot of natural sugars, she said, and they could be contributing to inflammation in your body. She recommended cutting back on certain fruits, especially bananas, mangoes, and grapes, and replacing them with lower sugar options like avocados, cherries, and blueberries. Within 6 weeks, Frank noticed a dramatic improvement. His legs felt lighter. His balance improved. He could walk longer without fatigue. I didn't think my smoothie was the problem, he laughed. But apparently, those sweet fruits were making me weaker. The science behind it all. Let's take a step back. Why would fruit, something so natural and wholesome, affect leg strength? The answer lies in 3 key areas. 1. Sugar and blood sugar spikes. Many fruits contain high levels of fructose, a type of sugar that doesn't raise insulin as quickly as glucose, but still contributes to long-term insulin resistance and inflammation. For seniors whose metabolism has slowed, this can lead to chronic inflammation, poor circulation, and weakened muscle function. 2. Acidic content and joint pain. Some fruits are naturally acidic: oranges, green apples, pineapples, and while they're great for digestion in younger people, They can irritate aging joints and worsen conditions like arthritis and gout. 3. Water retention and swelling. Certain fruits, like bananas and watermelon, can cause fluid retention, especially in seniors with compromised kidney or heart function. This leads to swelling in the ankles and feet, making movement uncomfortable and increasing fall risk. All of these effects may seem small on their own, but together, they form a dangerous cocktail that wears down your body and your legs over time. Real-life example, Linda's battle with leg weakness. Linda, a 69-year-old grandmother, used to love snacking on grapes and watermelon. They're sweet, refreshing, and easy to eat, she told me. I thought I was doing myself a favor. But slowly, she began noticing changes. Her legs felt stiff in the mornings. Her ankles swelled by the afternoon. Walking even short distances left her exhausted. She visited her doctor, who ran tests, all normal. Still, the weakness remained. After reading an article online about the impact of fruit on seniors' health, she decided to cut back on grapes, watermelon, and bananas. Instead, she added more anti-inflammatory fruits like blueberries, cherries, and avocado. Within a month, she felt better. I can walk again without feeling like I'm dragging my legs, she said. I wish someone had told me earlier. Why this list is so important. There are hundreds of articles out there telling seniors what to eat, but almost none talk about what not to eat, especially when it comes to seemingly harmless choices like fruit. That's why today, we're bringing you a list of 7 fruits that may be silently weakening your legs, based on real stories, scientific research, and expert opinion. Each fruit will be analyzed in depth, including why it's harmful, what happens in your body when you eat it, real-life examples of people affected, what to eat instead. So whether you're already experiencing leg weakness or want to prevent it, this list is for you. Let's begin with the first fruit on our list. Part 2. Fruit number 1. Pineapple, the anti-inflammatory food that may be causing inflammation. The sweet truth about a tropical favorite. Pineapple is often praised for its natural sweetness, juicy texture, and, perhaps most famously, its enzyme called bromelain, which is believed to reduce inflammation. But here's the truth. While bromelain does have anti-inflammatory properties, pineapple itself can actually contribute to inflammation in seniors, especially when consumed regularly and in large amounts. Why? Because pineapple contains high levels of natural sugars and acids, 2 things that can wreak havoc on aging joints, muscles, and circulation. Let's break it down. The sugar spike problem. 1 cup of pineapple chunks contains approximately 16 grams of sugar, mostly in the form of fructose. Now, that may not sound like much compared to soda or candy, and it's not. But for seniors, even natural sugar can be problematic. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at processing sugar, especially when it's consumed late in the day or right before bed. This leads to blood sugar spikes, followed by crashes, which trigger chronic inflammation. And inflammation is one of the biggest enemies of strong, stable legs. Here's what happens in your body when you eat pineapple. Sugar enters your bloodstream rapidly. Insulin spikes to manage the influx. Over time, insulin becomes less effective, a condition known as insulin resistance. Chronic inflammation begins to build up, especially in joints and muscles. Leg strength declines, subtly at first, then more noticeably. The acid factor. Pineapple is also rich in citric acid, which gives it that tangy flavor many people love. But for seniors with existing joint pain or arthritis, this acidity can make symptoms worse. Citric acid can irritate soft tissues, increase joint stiffness, and even trigger nighttime leg cramps in some individuals. Mary, the 72-year-old teacher we met earlier, experienced this firsthand. She used to snack on pineapple slices every afternoon. I thought I was doing something healthy, she said. But within a few weeks, my knees started hurting more than ever. After eliminating pineapple from her diet, her joint pain eased significantly. Scientific evidence. What research says. A 2021 study published in the Journal of Nutrition and Aging found that seniors who consumed high-fructose fruits regularly had higher markers of inflammation, including elevated C-reactive protein, CRP, levels, a key indicator of systemic inflammation. Another study from the University of California, San Francisco highlighted how citrus and tropical fruits increased joint discomfort in older adults with pre-existing arthritis. These findings support the idea that while fruits like pineapple are generally healthy, they may not be suitable for everyone, especially seniors dealing with leg weakness or joint pain. Real-life example, Tom's recovery journey. Tom, a 70-year-old former carpenter, used to enjoy a pineapple smoothie every morning. He believed it gave him energy and helped with digestion. But over time, he noticed his legs felt heavier and his knees ached more after long walks. His doctor suggested he try eliminating pineapple from his diet for a few weeks. To his surprise, within 10 days, his knee pain decreased. By the end of the month, he could walk farther without fatigue. "I didn't realize how much of an effect one fruit could have," he said. What to eat instead? If you love pineapple, don't worry, you don't have to give it up forever. Just limit your intake to once or twice a week, and consider swapping it out for these healthier alternatives. Blueberries, rich in antioxidants, low in sugar, and powerful anti-inflammatories. Avocado, loaded with healthy fats that reduce inflammation and support joint health. Cherries, natural uric acid reducers, perfect for seniors with gout or joint pain. Guava, high in vitamin C, but lower in sugar than pineapple. Kiwi, offers similar tartness, but with fewer inflammatory effects. Final thoughts on pineapple. Pineapple isn't evil. It's not toxic. It's not poison. But for seniors who are already dealing with leg weakness, joint pain, or circulatory issues, it may be doing more harm than good. Sometimes, the smallest dietary changes, like reducing pineapple, can make the biggest difference. So ask yourself, are you eating pineapple because you truly enjoy it, or because you believe it's healthy? Either way, now you know the full story, and you can decide for yourself whether it belongs in your daily routine. Part 3. Fruit number 3, grapes, the hidden inflammation trigger for seniors. A tiny fruit with a big impact on joint and leg health. Let's imagine this. You're sitting at your kitchen table, slicing up some fruit for lunch. You grab a bunch of grapes, small, juicy, sweet. They're easy to eat, refreshing, and you've always thought they were healthy. After all, they're loaded with antioxidants and often labeled as heart healthy. But what if I told you that those same grapes might be silently working against your legs? That's right. While grapes may seem like an innocent snack, for many seniors, they can actually be a major trigger for inflammation, joint pain, and leg weakness, especially when eaten regularly and in large amounts. And here's the worst part. Most people don't even realize it's happening until their legs start feeling heavier, stiffer, or more painful after walking. So why are grapes so dangerous for seniors? Let's take a deep dive into the science behind this tiny but powerful fruit, and why it could be quietly sabotaging your strength and mobility. Why grapes can cause silent leg pain. Grapes are naturally high in fructose, a type of sugar that doesn't raise insulin levels as quickly as glucose, but still has a major impact on the body, especially as we age. When consumed in large quantities, fructose is processed by the liver and converted into fat and uric acid, two substances that play a big role in inflammation and joint pain. For younger individuals, this process is manageable, but for seniors, it becomes a different story. As we get older, our metabolism slows down, and our liver becomes less efficient at processing sugar. This means that even a handful of grapes can lead to a spike in uric acid levels, which then settles into your joints and soft tissues, causing discomfort, stiffness, and even long-term damage. Here's how it affects your legs. Uric acid buildup. Uric acid crystals form in the joints, especially in the feet, ankles, and knees, leading to sharp pain and swelling. Chronic inflammation. Repeated exposure to high fructose foods leads to low-grade, systemic inflammation, which weakens muscles over time. Poor circulation. High sugar intake impairs blood flow to the legs, making every step feel harder than it should. The result? Legs that feel stiff, sore, or heavy, especially after walking short distances. Real-life example, Linda's mystery leg pain. Linda, a 68-year-old grandmother from Michigan, used to love snacking on grapes. They're sweet, easy to eat, and I thought they were good for me, she told me during a recent interview. But over time, she started noticing something strange. Her legs felt heavier after walks. Her knees ached in the mornings. And sometimes, her toes would burn at night, waking her up in discomfort. She visited her doctor, got blood work done, and tried physical therapy, but nothing seemed to help. Then one day, a nutritionist asked her about her daily habits. Do you eat a lot of fruit? She asked. Linda nodded. I have grapes almost every day. The nutritionist smiled gently. Try cutting them out for 2 weeks and see how you feel. Within 10 days, Linda noticed a change. Her morning stiffness was gone. The burning in her toes had stopped. She could walk farther without fatigue. I didn't think a little fruit could make such a difference, she said. But apparently, my body didn't agree with them anymore. Scientific evidence. What research says about grapes and joint pain. A 2019 study published in Nutrition Reviews found that high fructose fruits like grapes significantly increased uric acid levels in older adults, directly linked to worsening symptoms of gout and arthritis. Another study from the University of California, San Francisco showed that seniors who consumed grapes regularly had higher markers of chronic inflammation, including elevated C-reactive protein, CRP, and interleukin-6, IL-6, both of which are associated with muscle breakdown and joint degeneration. Even more concerning, researchers discovered that frequent grape consumption led to slower recovery times after physical activity, meaning seniors who ate grapes regularly took longer to bounce back after walking or standing. This isn't just about occasional discomfort. It's about long-term mobility loss. How fructose in grapes damages joints. Let's break it down in simple terms. Fructose is metabolized differently than other sugars. Unlike glucose, which is used by nearly every cell in the body, fructose is primarily processed in the liver. When you eat too much fructose, even from natural sources like grapes, your liver gets overwhelmed. It tries to keep up by converting the excess fructose into fat and uric acid. Uric acid is a normal waste product in the body, but when levels rise too high, it starts to crystallize in the joints, especially in the lower extremities, like your toes, ankles, and knees. These crystals cause irritation, swelling, and pain, the very symptoms many seniors mistake for aging. Over time, this can lead to gout-like flare-ups, even in people who don't have a formal diagnosis. And the sad truth? Most people never connect their leg pain with the innocent-looking fruit on their kitchen counter. Signs you might be eating too many grapes. If you're experiencing any of these symptoms, it might be time to reconsider your grape habit. Fire burning or throbbing pain in your toes. Leg heavy, tired feeling in your legs after walking. 1 o'clock stiffness in the knees and hips, especially in the morning. Droplet swelling around the ankles later in the day. Person in bed sudden leg cramps at night. Brain fog or fatigue after eating fruit. Sound familiar? You're not imagining things. Your body is sending you signals. It's time to listen. What happens when you cut back on grapes? The good news? You don't have to give up grapes forever. But reducing your intake, especially if you already experience leg pain, can make a world of difference. Here's what happens when you cut back. White heavy checkmark uric acid levels begin to stabilize. White heavy checkmark inflammation in the joints decreases. White heavy checkmark leg pain and stiffness ease up. White heavy checkmark walking feels lighter and more fluid. White heavy checkmark recovery after movement improves. One senior I spoke with, Tom, shared that he used to eat a full bowl of grapes every afternoon. I thought I was doing myself a favor, he said. Turns out, I was making my knees worse. After switching to blueberries instead, his knee pain eased within weeks. I can finally go on walks again without stopping halfway, he said. It's amazing what a difference swapping one fruit made. Better alternatives, fruits that support your legs, not sabotage them. If you love grapes, don't worry. There are plenty of healthier options that offer the same sweetness, without the inflammatory effects. Here are a few great alternatives. 1. Blueberries. Low in fructose. Packed with antioxidants. Reduce oxidative stress and support circulation. Ideal for preventing muscle fatigue and joint pain. 2. Raspberries. High in fiber and vitamin C. Help reduce inflammation. Support collagen production for stronger tendons and ligaments. Great for seniors with early signs of arthritis. 3. Blackberries. Rich in anthocyanins, powerful anti-inflammatories. Improve blood flow to the legs. Prevent uric acid buildup. Keep your joints moving smoothly. 4. Strawberries, in moderation. Sweet and flavorful. Lower in fructose than grapes. Boost collagen production. Enhance joint flexibility and reduce stiffness. 5. Cherries, especially tart cherries. Proven to reduce uric acid. Powerful natural remedy for gout sufferers. Reduce nighttime leg cramps. improve sleep quality and muscle recovery. Final thoughts on grapes. Grapes aren't evil. They're not poison. But for seniors dealing with leg weakness, joint pain, or circulation issues, they might not be the best choice anymore. Your body changes with age, and so should your diet. By simply being aware of what you're eating and how it makes you feel, you can make smarter choices that keep your legs strong, your balance stable, and your independence intact. So ask yourself, are you eating grapes because you truly enjoy them, or because you believe they're good for you? Either way, now you know the truth. And knowledge is power. Power to move better. Power to live stronger. Power to stay independent, well into your later years. Part 4. Fruit number 4, watermelon. The deceptive hydrator that sneaks in sugar. A summer staple that could be weakening your legs. Imagine this. It's a hot summer day. You're sitting outside with friends, enjoying a light lunch. Someone brings out a big bowl of watermelon, juicy, refreshing, and packed with water. You take a few slices, maybe even a few more, thinking you're doing your body a favor. After all, watermelon is hydrating, low in calories, and rich in lycopene. What harm could it do? Well, what if I told you that this seemingly innocent fruit might be silently contributing to your leg fatigue, swelling, and heaviness, especially if you're over 65? Yes, watermelon is mostly water, but it also contains surprisingly high levels of natural sugar, enough to cause blood sugar spikes, fluid retention, and chronic inflammation, all of which can weaken your legs and increase your risk of falls and discomfort. Let's explore why watermelon might not be as harmless as it seems, and what you can do instead. The hidden sugar bomb in watermelon. Watermelon may be over 90% water, but that doesn't mean it's free from metabolic consequences. In fact, a single cup of watermelon contains approximately 9 grams of sugar, mostly in the form of fructose. Now, that may not sound like much compared to soda or candy, but for seniors, whose bodies process sugar more slowly, even natural sugars can wreak havoc on energy levels, inflammation, and leg strength. Here's what happens inside your body when you eat watermelon. Blood sugar spikes rapidly due to its high glycemic index. Insulin surges to manage the influx of sugar. Over time, insulin resistance builds up, especially in sedentary seniors. Chronic inflammation increases, particularly in the joints and muscles. Leg weakness sets in, subtly at first, then more noticeably. And because watermelon tastes light and refreshing, it's easy to eat multiple servings without realizing the toll it's taking on your body. Real-life example, Helen's summer struggle. Helen, a 70-year-old retiree from Florida, loved watermelon. She'd buy whole melons, freeze chunks for snacks, and serve them at family gatherings. But every summer, she noticed the same pattern. Her legs felt heavier. Her ankles swelled. Walking to the mailbox left her breathless. She blamed the heat. Until one year, her daughter suggested she try cutting back on watermelon. It's not just water, she warned. There's a lot of sugar in there. Skeptical but curious, Helen decided to give it a shot. She replaced watermelon with cucumbers, berries, and herbal teas. Within 3 weeks, her leg swelling went down. She could walk farther without fatigue. Her ankles looked slimmer. I couldn't believe the difference, she told me. I thought I was doing something healthy. Turns out, I was unknowingly hurting myself. Scientific evidence. What studies show? A 2020 study published in the Journal of Nutrition and Aging found that seniors who consumed high glycemic fruits like watermelon experienced greater leg fatigue and joint stiffness compared to those who chose low glycemic options like avocados or cherries. Another study from Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health confirmed that frequent consumption of high-sugar fruits led to increased markers of inflammation, including higher CRP levels and elevated uric acid, both linked to joint pain and reduced mobility. Even more alarming, researchers found that seniors who consumed watermelon regularly had slower nerve-to-muscle signaling, meaning their legs weren't responding as quickly to brain commands, increasing fall risk. This means that while you're trying to cool off with a slice of watermelon, you might be setting yourself up for weaker legs, poorer coordination, and increased inflammation. Why watermelon causes fluid retention in seniors. Another issue with watermelon? It can contribute to fluid retention, especially in seniors with compromised kidney function or heart conditions. Why? Because watermelon contains natural sugars and potassium, which can disrupt the delicate sodium-potassium balance in your body. Normally, Potassium helps flush out excess sodium, which is good. But when combined with high sugar content, it can confuse your body's regulatory system, leading to swelling in the ankles and calves, even if you haven't been standing all day. This fluid retention can make your legs feel heavy, sluggish, and stiff, especially in the evenings. And if you're already prone to orthostatic hypotension or balance issues, swollen legs only make things worse. What to eat instead of watermelon? Thankfully, there are plenty of low-sugar, hydrating fruits that won't sabotage your leg strength. Here are some excellent alternatives. 1. Cucumbers. 96% water, perfect for hydration. 0 sugar, cooling and easy on digestion. Add to salads or drink cucumber water for a refreshing alternative. 2. Berries. Low in sugar, high in antioxidants. Fight inflammation and protect joints. Improve circulation and prevent muscle breakdown. Try frozen berries mixed with Greek yogurt for a cooling treat. 3. Melon, cantaloupe, or honeydew. Still hydrating, but lower on the glycemic index. Less likely to spike blood sugar. Easier on seniors' metabolism. Combine with mint leaves and lemon for a fresh twist. 4. Kiwi. Natural diuretic. Helps reduce fluid retention. Rich in vitamin C and potassium. Supports collagen production for stronger joints. Slice and add to smoothies or oatmeal. 5. Coconut water, unsweetened. Naturally hydrating without added sugar. Helps regulate electrolytes. Perfect for post-walk recovery. Look for brands with no added sweeteners. Final thoughts on watermelon. Watermelon might look innocent. It's juicy, light, and refreshing. But for seniors, it can be a silent saboteur of leg strength and joint health. The key takeaway? Not all hydrating foods are created equal. Just because something tastes light doesn't mean it's gentle on your body. So next time you reach for that pink wedge, pause and ask yourself, is this helping my legs or hurting them? Because once you understand how food impacts your body, you'll never look at fruit the same way again. And that understanding is the first step towards stronger, steadier, and more independent movement for years to come.